Hello everyone, and welcome to more Final Fantasy XIV. So, when last we left off, I believe we had defeated Ifrit, Ifrit, however you want to pronounce it. So we're doing Lord of the Inferno. It's been a little bit since the last time I recorded, so we do have to report to the Scion of the Seventh Dawn at the Waking Sands. But before we go doing that, we have some quests. It's 1 a.m. for me. We have some quests because we have Arcanist and Rogue level 15 to do. And that's pretty exciting. I definitely want to branch out more and pick up some more of these. And that might come I don't know when, but that'll come soon, I'm sure. So I did decide, I haven't done it yet, but I did decide, nobody has said anything about, doing the Disciple of Hand and Land stuff yet. And I was kind of holding off till 2 or 3 of the different episodes that talked about it went out, and they did. And I didn't really seem to get any kind of real response from anybody, which tells me that either A, nobody really cares which route I go, or B, it tells me that people probably would prefer if I skip all of that stuff, just because there's a little, story involved, but not much. It really is just like, hey, go make this item for this person and stuff. And considering that before we get too much further into this, I'm going to actually need to start leveling those up, because that's how you get glamour prisms, is by doing that. Right now I have a whopping 3 glamour prisms left. And unfortunately I have a lot of items I want to add to my glamour repertoire. So the biggest issue there is that I have to go and start leveling that stuff up, which means I either have to start doing that stuff on camera and handling that, or I need to start doing it off camera. And again, it seems like it's something that people don't really care about. So I think I'm probably just going to go ahead and do that. For anybody who, wants to see the story of those, obviously, you can play and go from there. I'm sure that most people are like, hey, let's, focus on the MSQ, as it is. As people call it. So I think people would prefer that over 12 episodes of me doing, Disciple of the Hand and Land stuff. So Acting Guildmaster Thurbergeme wishes to inform you of an important task. You seem tired, Kazumi. Are you sleeping properly? One's reasoning can suffer without sufficient rest and recuperation. Should you deem yourself fit for duty, pray make your way down to the practice floor. Forseer Kalaya has requested you accompany her on another official inspection. Why when I'm trying to record? There is, however, a requirement for your participation. The Forestier will explain the situation. Yeah, go see one of my favorite characters. Yay. I really do love Clea, honestly. She really is one of, if not my absolute favorite, like, character in the game. But yes. So, at level 15, if I do, like, the Disciple of the Hand stuff, I can start making glamour prisms, and at level 30, I can make dye. And that'll give us access to some stuff that we otherwise would not have access to. In the way of, like, glamour, you know, in the way of, like, appearance. And I really want to get, like, a defined look for Kazumi going. Right now, like, this is a good look for, you know, her magic, like, gear. But, like, this is just the default, like, gladiator. And, like, this is, you know, default pug list, you know. Like, I want to get different things, you know. And so I think I want to go ahead and do that. So, let me summon my carbuncle back out again. I was beginning to think I'd miscalculated, Kazumi. Thank you for coming. I will soon be boarding a trading vessel suspected of smuggling. All merchant ships that make use of Limsa Laminsa's ports are subject to inspection by Milvin's Gate assessors. It's a routine I perform daily. In the case of smugglers, however, there is a 75% probability of encountering resistance. Thus, I would appreciate your company during the assignment. It is now that we must discuss the requirement of which you are informed. Though I have full confidence in your martial expertise, it is imperative that you first acquire the ability to summon Topaz Carbuncle. Such knowledge will be released to you, contingent on your acceptance of this duty. Sure. Very good. The arcane entity given form by the Topaz geometry will further expand your offensive capabilities. With such an ally at your command, even the harshest of enemies will falter before you. Indeed, we could not conduct these dangerous spot inspections without its support. Please return to Mistress Thubbergame and inform her of your participation. I'll join you once I have completed some final adjustments to my tactical formulae. So originally, the Topaz Carbuncle was actually useful. And it served as sort of a tank type thing. It allowed you, like, it could, like, if I'm remembering right, it could, like, actually pull aggro, and, like, help you survive more. Which is why I was like, hey, make sure you get this at this point. Nowadays, that's not a thing, which is really annoying. If you agree to accompany the Forestier, then I shall gladly instruct you in the use of Topaz Carbuncle. Pray, do not hesitate to employ this entity in combat should the inspection turn sour. Whoa. We got something that's pretty much useless. Like, I've seen a lot of summoners in the stuff that I've done, level 50 to 60. And apparently there are people that enjoy the summoner, but once Endwalker came out and changed it, I just have not been able to get into it, so I don't know, maybe that's just me though. Acting Guildmaster Thubbergame is awaiting the arrival of the inspection party members. Alright. The merchants Geistfriend and Ersthoda are here to assist with the inspection. Both are old hands when it comes to escorting Clea during her more dangerous duties. Well met, Kazumi. My spells are at your disposal. This won't be the first time we're expecting trouble, but as long as we follow the Forcier's tactics and keep a clear head, we'll come through just fine. The Morning Star is preparing to dock in airport. It will meet our first challenge, however, before we even board the vessel. It's almost a certainty that the merchant ship has hired a thug or two to accost us at the pier. I calculate the probability at 98%. The crew wish to avoid attacking us on deck, you see, as that would all but trumpet their criminal intentions to the world at large. Now, once we do manage to clear the rails, we'll face a deck crowded with armed soldiers. For small parties such as ours, the most effective strategy will be to incapacitate individual foes as swiftly as possible. Each opponent we down is one less weapon raised against us. It is imperative that we do not allow ourselves to become entangled in multiple drawn-out skirmishes, lest we be overwhelmed. I call this stratagem Hammerfall. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's some sirens going on, like right outside. What the heck? Strategy is a tool used to manipulate one situation into the desired reality. Keep those words in mind, Kazumi. It's time we departed. Let's regroup before the main gates of airport. Quest accepted. Alright. So, off to airport. Have I picked up airport? I have, yes. Okay. 196. I'm just trying to keep an eye on my monies because we're still, low level. I don't have infinite monies. I don't have infinite monies normally, anyway, but I'm used to having like right around 300,000 GP, which is the guild cap for free trial. Hopefully in a few months I won't be on free trial anymore, but we'll see. But I'm used to, like, basically just always having more than enough money, like, all the time, so. Let's be about our task, Kazumi. Pray, inform the steersman at the pier that we are ready to conduct our inspection. Should violence be offered, you are to execute stratagem Hammerfall. Do not forget, your tactics are both your shield and your weapon. Indeed. Good grief. I don't know what that yawn's all about. Actually, I do know what that yawn is all about. I have not been getting sleep lately. Like, I don't know what it is. I ended up getting sick. Those of you who watched Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX will know that I was pretty sick there for a little while. And, like, it destroyed my sleep schedule. And I cannot seem to get it back, no matter what I do. You're with the folks from Melvin's Gate. Hells, I knew there'd be trouble. Sense a hostile presence. I have to kind of, like, stop and remember how Summoner even works. It's been so long since I, like, legitimately used it. There's my freaking ether charge. Takes so long to freaking do anything. Well then, certainly glad to see you can handle yourself. I'll find the landing boat just down here at the end of this ramp. I'll have no part of what comes next, though. Just right down here by the end of the ramp. I like that Clea didn't even help out with that part. That's alright. We'll hop in the boat and head on over the rails. Deftly handled, Kazumi. Once again, I am reminded of our guild master. Thanks to your efficient response, we will be able to commence this inspection earlier than I had calculated. We shall board the merchant vessel out in the bay. Good grief. If so, if you would take the rudder, the Morning Star awaits. Why am I not in the boat? I have no idea. That's just the way it is. Because this is old content from when they had to completely remake the entire game. Because this is all patch 2.0 stuff right now. So, like, Arcanus was one of the original classes that came out in the game. So, Rogue and something else were added later. I don't remember what. So, there's the ship. Since their welcoming party at the pier failed to deter us, I expect with a probability of 85% that our arrival will incite further belligerence. Our objective, however, is not to trade blows, but to gain access to the hold. It may behoove us to employ stratagem Hardhead. The aim of our opponents is to buy time, so that the suspect goods may be tossed into the ocean. I do not intend to give them that time. We will bull our way towards the cargo hold as quickly as we can. It is a tactic fraught with risk, but one that your presence makes possible. Shall we begin? Sure. Alright. Let's do this. Onward! Convenient use of waves and camera angles to make it appear as though you're moving, even though it's not. I am Furcia Clea. By the authority of Milvin's Gate, I request that you surrender your goods for assessment. Well, now your timing couldn't be worse, lass. The old door's all rusted up, you see. Bloody thing won't open. You'll have to come back another day after we fix the hinges. I will see that cargo now. Any vessel entering a port of Limsa Laminsa is bound by law to submit to a routine inspection. Law, is it, lads? Lads, I reckon it's time our guests had themselves a little accident. Pitch 'em over the side. Alright. Let's do this. This was actually one of the first duties I ever did in Final Fantasy XIV. Like, I'm pretty sure I got this far in doing the, like, the duties and things in my original run. Again, that should still be up here on YouTube, same channel. Unless I'm posting this to FF14 Serene. Which, I don't know if I'm going to continue to do that. I had an idea with doing that. And then it hasn't, like, really worked at all. So now I'm planning another possibility of what to do. I'm just trying to, you know, help get actual views on the series and all. That's all. Now, one nice thing is that Topaz Ruin has 4 casts and is an instant cast. And so it actually is kind of useful to a degree. The biggest issue with the Topaz Ruin is obviously that you do still have your cast timer, your global cooldown rather, on your bars. And so, like, Okay, it's instant cast, but it still, like, takes just as long to cast as regular Ruin because of the global cooldown, you know? So, masterful display, Kazumi. Now we can finally gain access to their cargo. I don't even remember, like, fighting the dude with the axe, but I must have. Oof. What have we here, then? It's one of the bitch admiral's lapdogs scampering about me ship. Uh-oh. You're just like your mistress, always sticking your nose in where it ain't invited. No, it can't be. Recognize my pretty face, did you? But you were caught, exiled. Forseer, are you hurt? Can you stand? So stay back. You stay away from me. She has some trauma with this guy. Forseer, please calm down. What are your orders? I've had enough of your whimpering. And I've certainly had enough of these bloody books. It's clear you ain't learning anything from them. Uh-oh. I reckon it's time we got a different kind of lesson. I can't do a good scream, but Clea screams and then passes out. Clea, Nava can preserve her. She's fainted. We must withdraw. Kazumi, quickly, back to the boat. We'll carry the Forseer. Aye, that's right. You slink on back to your mistress, you worthless cars. Ha 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 ha. Oh. Oh no. Clea has some trauma with this guy. Report back to the Arcanist Guild. Got it. Limsa. I was looking for Arcanist Guild, admittedly. I will admit that. I legitimately was looking for Arcanist Guild. Not Limsa. So, there's that. Off to the Arcanist Guild. But yeah, I think I am gonna handle... I think I said this already, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and just do... like, the Disciple stuff. Disciple of the Hand and Land. You know. Get those leveled up and everything. And... you know, do all that kind of off camera. It's just better that way, I think. It's good to see you well, Kazumi. Gisvern sent word ahead of your travails. An unfortunate turn of events, considering the infamous black art you faced. You might have fared much worse. Have you heard of the pirate Dos Maga? He was exiled from Limsa Liminsa some years ago, but it appears he has chosen to defy the Admiral's orders. And once more he dares lay a hand on Forseer Clea. The poor lass must have been terrified. If I had known this Moga was aboard that ship, I never would have assigned her that duty. The assessor may require some time to recover. For Clea, that man is a nightmare made flesh. Though her physical wounds will still soon mend, there's little we can do to salve the hurt to her mind. You are concerned? Angry mayhap? Harness that energy and channel it into your training. I predict we shall be needing your skills again before long. Alright, I don't think any of this gear is good. This is going to claim it is, but that's only because it adds more defense and magical defense. But it's also taking the spot of the helmet as well. You can't wear a helmet with this on. And so it's factoring basically chest and helmet in one piece, and it doesn't factor that into what it shows here. So it doesn't factor that you lose your helmet piece, and so therefore the bonus is not actually there. So I think that's the hard leather grimoire. Oh no, I have the plundered grimoire. Okay, yeah. Plundered grimoire is better because it is a dungeon drop. Plus it's higher than level 15 anyway, so. Let's head down to the Fisherman's Guild next. Because we still have the rogue quest line to do. And I think once we hit level 30 in each of these, I think we'll turn around and start picking up some of the other classes as well. So, I'm going to head inside. Hi, Jackie. Jackie wishes to bring you in on a tricky assignment, and we get throwing dagger. Woo! Ah, Kazumi, just the mod I was hoping to see. We have some nasty trouble brewing. The client's on his way, so sit tight and pay attention. I'm calling Underfoot and Astray in on this as well. There'll be a right little rogue family reunion. Okay. I don't remember what, voice I was doing initially. I'm hoping I'm doing something similar, at least. Jackie, the client's arrived. I love the cab, though. Now, our guest here has come from Maelstrom Command with confidential orders direct from the Admiral herself. So you know this won't be a simple job. I'm afraid your guildmaster speaks truly. 'Twas several days ago when an emaciated man stumbled into one of our camps seeking aid. Upon questioning the poor fellow, we discovered he had narrowly escaped a life of slavery, claimed that pirates had raided his village, abducting him and many others to sell on a black market auction block. We dispatched a patrol to confirm the tale and found the village almost completely destroyed. It was a meager settlement without so much as a guardhouse. Thus did its unkind fate escape our notice until now. You'd think these pirates never even heard of the code. Pillaging honest culls and dipping their wicks in the slave trade, they're headed the right way for a good stabbing. Aye, though it ain't set down in so many wids, the code's notoriously unforgiving against those who raise weapons against the weak. After all, the first pirates in these parts were culls that was fleeing oppression in the northern seas. Ignore your history and you risk becoming what it was you hated most. So, you have a mark for us, then? Now we do. From the descriptions given to us by the escaped villager, we've determined that these lawbreakers are members of the Jolly Merchants, a pirate crew, and possessed of an official privateering license. It would appear, however, the privateering has been naught but a screen behind which hide their illicit activities. One can imagine how many other Leminson citizens have fallen prey to these wicked slavers. And we've let it happen right under our very noses. Naturally, the Admiral desires a swift resolution to this ignominy, and merely tracking down these poor souls who have already been sold is proving heavily taxing to our allocated resources. We could throw more soldiers at the problem. That runs the risk of drawing the small folks' attention and inciting undue panic. Thus do we come to the Rogues Guild for help. We ask that you eliminate the Jolly Merchants and liberate the villagers presently in their custody, and that you do so with the utmost discretion. Consider it done. When those nasty coves will feel our short blades pricking into their backs, they'll enjoy but a brief moment of regret before the code is rightly enforced. Alright, let's get to work. I'll be going after the Jolly Merchants myself. Underfoot, Vicab, you two lend your skills to the Maelstrom's investigation and see what you can whittle about the coals would have already been sold. Kazumi, you're coming with me. I think you're ready for the next step of your education. Okay. Quest accepted. Nice. Shall we get after these slaving cutthroats then? The client tells me that the jolly merchantman set sail from airport a few bells ago. Oh, aye. They might even board an imperial ship or two. That's just some mummery they're putting on to amuse the admiral's swads. I reckon the rest of the crew'd be back on land looking to snap the shackles on a fresh herd of chattel. And just to prove me theory right, one of them jolly bastards got himself spotted creeping about the Ruffmans in Lower Lenasia. There's a bean cove over at the there's a Benny Cove over at the Morby Dry Docks by the name of Swarsant. What'll likely know the full story. God, I hate this dialogue so much. He's more of a shipwright than a rogue these days, but he keeps his glazes keen for the guild. Head over and have yourself a prattle, and I'll join you soon, like. Morby Dry Docks. Can't remember where those are. Those are Lower Lenasia. Well, it's a good thing I ran down there at that just randomly then. So, let's see. Lower Lenasia. Morby Dry Docks, right there. And then right over this way, it looks like. This is also one reason that Rogue isn't a starting class. Because it was not a launch class. It came later in a patch. So there's like two or three classes that they added in Realm Reborn in patches, so I know what you are. What can old Swassant do for you? Hunting down jolly merchant slavers? Ah, well that explains a few things. I was keeping an eye on the bustle about the dry docks, you see, when I spied an odd trail off in the distance. And this rough-looking sod, one of your pirates, I'd wager, was prodding along another bloke in this poor skinny lass. I've seen whipped curs less miserable than the two being herded. Last I saw, they were headed south. If what you're saying about the slavery business is true, then that jolly merchant's not gonna walk his charges all the way to market. No, he likely has a boat waiting for him. If I were a slaver headed south, my vessel would be hidden somewhere along the salt strand. And that doesn't leave you much time. You said Jackie was on his way, yes? You'd best go on ahead, and I'll point him in the right direction when he gets there. Alright. So, down over here, it looks like. So, let's head in that direction. So, it'll just take me a moment to get the frick out of here. Not to, complain, but this place is not exactly the easiest to navigate, so it's not bad. It's just, takes a bit to get out of the area there. So, bet you that there are things down here that I need. Because I think the Chicharan might be down there. Maybe all of this. At least some of this stuff anyway. Looks like it's down here. Oh yeah, this area. There's a Mandragora Prince fate over there that I don't feel like bothering with because it would probably hurt. I'm only level 15. There's a Teacher and Ag Diggers that I need. But first, we'll handle these guys. Parson came through for us, eh? Now what do we got here? This one looks like a charmer. Sudden move, I told you. Me bag like grandma obbles quicker than you, miserable sacks of shite. Or maybe you need another thrashing, is that it? You already forgot what happens when you try me generous patience. I'm sorry, please. No more beatings. We walked as fast as we could. But we need food, water. Then get in the boat and shut your traps. You'll get fed when we reach the other side. That's the other side? Where are you taking us? Are you challenging me or just plain daft? I told you to keep your bleeding mouth shut. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Leviathan's scaly ass. She's weeping again. Listen, we're headed to Aleport, alright? That's where me and me shipmates gather to take stock of the merchandise and decide what gets sold where. You see, some buyers want only lads, while others is looking for lasses. As long as we keep the rich bastards happy, we make more coin than we ever did scrapping with the Empire's war galleys. Not that you care about that, I suppose. What matters to you is that you'll be loaded onto the Jolly Merchantmen, sailed off to God's nowhere, and Limsa will be a distant memory. So if I was you, I'd fill that empty belly with one last big gob full of sweet Lanosian sea breeze. Ha ha ha! I'm sore tempted to put a blade twixt his eyes here and now, but that won't get the job done. No, we'll let him guide us to his mates in Aleport. Then we'll mill the whole bloody lot of them. Jolly merchants will get their due. Don't you worry about that. As they've gone. We'd best hurry to Aleport, unless you've a quicker way. There's a ferry what leaves from the Candlekeep Quay. I'll meet you across the water, lass. Alright. I don't have a quicker way, but what I do have is teacher and ag diggers that I need to quick slaughter. Real quick like. Just like what? 3 of these guys, I think? Yeah, I want 3 of these guys. I like that this guy's talking to this guy while that guy's getting attacked. He doesn't even care. Hey, I'm fighting someone here. Do you think you could help? Nah, I'm enjoying this conversation we're having. But we're not really having much of a conversation because I'm getting killed here. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just having we're just talking, right? Something, man. Okay. I'm sure that I could probably get the Morbi moles somewhere around here. They're probably up the path here itself. They're like over here. But I'm not gonna go hunting for them right now. So I'm not gonna bother with that on camera. I believe if I talk to this person, they'll take me to Aleport. Yeah, for a whopping 40 gil. Much cheaper than the, like, 200 or whatever it probably would have cost me to teleport. So, much cheaper. Plus, it drops me right next to Jackie here, so. Hi, Jackie. Kazumi, that jolly merchant cove's still with his captives. Seems they've taken a room under an alias. Hiding their operation in plain sight. Bold as brass, aye. But it's an old slaver's trick. See, even if some coal recognizes the merchandise, only a single handler gets boned. But the crew just whistles all innocent-like while their mate is marched off to cry cockles. And you can bet they've threatened bloody murder for any prisoner what raises a hue and cry. Patience now, lass. We'll just wait until we're sure that all these blackguards have arrived. Meanwhile, you'd better sharpen your stabbards. We have a busy night ahead of us. Ready for the job then? Once the jolly merchants are all here, we'll ambush the sods and set their captives free. Alright, let's do this. Also, I'm pretty sure this is a two-part quest. Because it'll give us an ability, but then we'll have to do another quest for some equipment. Had all been long enough. Just have to hope there ain't any stragglers. Listen closely now, lass. The merchants are disguised as plain old adventurers, and have settled themselves in 3 separate rooms here in Airport. How do we whittle which coves are the merchants? Easy. Take a look at the dawdles of that bingo swilling coal over yonder. He's wearing lavender gloves, the exact same type with that nasty sod the Salt Strand had on. That'll be how they find each other in a crowd. Of course, it's also how I whittled where each of the bastards was staying. Just notes the hopeless glazes of the company they keep, and you can be sure you found your mark. So here's the job all laid out for you. We hit all 3 common rooms, mill the merchants quick and dirty like, and get those captives their bleeding lives back, alright? Oi, the storeroom doors have been forced open. Thieves sods been at the ale. Well, they can't have gone far. Better get the lads to do a sweep of the port. Was that merchant cove gulping pilfered ale? You'd think they'd be doing their best not to draw attention to themselves, all things considered. Bloody oafs. And I've got a swarm of yellow jackets buzzing about looking for blood. If they spot us wandering around in the darkmans, I have a feeling they'll act first and ask questions later. It'd be best then if the patrols never even knew we was here. Sure. We'll slip as sneaky as we can into each of the common rooms and use them telltale lavender gloves to identify our marks. There's innocent coals in there as well, mind. So try not to stab any as don't deserve it, eh? Thinking we should head out one at a time. Better avoid them yellow jackets. So I'll let you take the lead. After you, Kazumi. Okay. Alright. So basically, use hide. Use the hide ability to walk past these guys. And then just walk into each of these buildings. And note the lavender gloves. And murder. There we go. Thank you, thank you. Of course, there's sword brandishing adventure, arrow knocking adventure, another arrow knocking adventure. And back out we go, all hidden like. The only issue with having to wander around like this is that you are so slow. It's really annoying. And really though, like, it's not hard to know who you're after. It's clearly the only person that's aggressive. So... oh yeah, you can attack the others, okay. I was gonna say, I don't even know if you can attack the others, but apparently you can. Because if I hover my mouse over these guys, I get the sword. At least on this guy. How about these ones? Oh yeah, I do. Okay. Alright. That's 2 of them that we've gotten now. I don't remember if sprinting will break my stealth, so I'm going to not sprint just in case. And last guy. Got him. I knew that's the last guy because there's 2 people here and I'm supposed to free 4 captive villagers. So, free 4 villagers and there's 2 here. That looks to be the last of them. They didn't even need my help. Back in the shadows, lass. And off the ends off the merchandise. Where'd these ghosts spring from? Get to stabbing, Kazumi. I could have gained an advantage by actually hitting the stealth, but I forgot that these guys spawned in here. I was like, what? Now what's this gonna do next? Because I don't remember. It's been a long time since I did Rogue, honestly. Did complete. Yeah, there we go. I like that nobody cares. It's just like, I walk in and I murder a bunch of people and it's just like, okay. Like, I just murder a bunch of people right in front of a group of adventurers. They're just like, that's fine. A bad night's work, eh, Kazumi? The maelstrom will be taking care of the poor culls we freed. I made sure none of the merchants we downed are like to get up again. As for the jolly merchantmen, well, her crew can expect a visit from the Admiral's finest galleys. That won't be for tea and crumpets on the poop deck. Right, me natty lass, our part in this is done. Time to head back to the sisters. Excuse me, are you the ones who freed us? Aye, is there something else we could do for you, miss? The maelstrom swaths will take you home if that's what you're worried about. Oh, no, I know. I just wanted to thank you. If I may, there was one thing I wish to tell you. Moments before you rescued me, the dreadful pirate was muttering into his cups. It was something about another raiding party that hadn't yet made it back. I beg your pardon? Seems they'd been hunting for slaves in western Lanasia. Being so close to Ilport, a captor assumed they were out rounding up chattel until the last bell. I just couldn't bear the thought of anyone else suffering as I have. Please, is there naught you can do? There certainly is, miss. You just got yourself safely home and leave the stray jackpack. Yeah, whatever. I'll pray for your success. Thank you again. I completely flubbed that line both times. So much for savoring of victory, Pint. I'll send word of this development to Underfoot and the Stray. Some well-earned trade for the last of these jolly merchants. By the by, how's your throwing arm, Kazumi? This time I learned you how to fling a proper blade. When you're out in the wide open roughmans, you often find the need to sting a cove from a distance. And I'm sure a canny lass like yourself will figure all sorts of uses for a well-thrown dagger. Just keep it in mind for when we hunt down the rest of them slavers. Alright. Stifled Screams. Quest complete. Now we have the throwing action. Action learned, throwing dagger. Alright. And we leveled up. Cool. Alright, well, we're at 50 minutes now. And I think this is a good spot to end off at. Before we go, you know, doing more stuff, basically. But yeah, I think this is a good spot to, end off at. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to subscribe. You can check the video description down below for a link to the playlist. That way you can get caught up on any episodes you might have missed. And I'll see you all next time. See you later.